This way forever. I'm Byron the Jackson.
What's going on, guys? Vesikk here, bringing you another F1 2016 Career Mode video here at the United States Grand Prix for round 18. Sorry that this video was fairly late. It was supposed to come out on Thursday, but I've been sick for the past week. But now I'm much better, and as you see, we have finished practice with P11. Nothing much happened in practice. I was just doing a few drills, normal things, doing the tire wear test, doing the track limit test and all that stuff. But now we're in qualifying and it is pouring down. It is so close. It pretty much, if it poured a little harder, it would have been full wet tires instead of inters. But this is the end of our first lap, so we do set P2, but that's because not everyone else was out. So now on the very next lap, we come around the corner, 8 tenths up, 9 tenths up, back down to 7 tenths up, and we get provisional P1. So we got provisional pole. A lot can happen. As you see, we are now on our very final lap of qualifying. We're in P6. This is it, but we're in the red, so we're not exactly going to beat P1, but can we beat our time? And unfortunately, a car somehow went P7 when we weren't even, like, no one was in front of us except this car up the road. So that's P7. Now the interesting thing is, as you can see, Ferrari 1-2, Mercedes 3-4, and then a McLaren Honda of Jenson Button in 5th. That separates me and my teammate Daniel Ricciardo. So the two Red Bulls are together. We're separating both the McLarens, and it's a 1-2 for Ferrari, and this is the first time Mercedes, I believe, aren't even on the front row of the grid. So very interesting. It seems that when it's wet, that Mercedes can't do much, and Ferrari and McLaren especially get the dominant starts. But here we are for the start of the Grand Prix. We got 4 lights, 5 lights, lights out, and away we go. And we got Ricciardo getting off to a better start than us, and here is Alonso down our inside. We're going to cross over, and Alonso does the same thing, so we both cross, going down the inside, because look at this, Rosberg leaves the gap, Hamilton leaves the gap, the Ferrari's left the gap, and that is P2 for us, with Raikkonen taking the lead ahead of Vettel, and that is green flags. But now we got a virtual safety car any second, and there we have it, virtual safety car. I was very confused, because normally when it comes up with green flags, you know something happened. But as you'll see in the replay, something did happen, and it caused a huge mess. As you can see, our teammate Daniel Ricciardo got off to a terrible start on the first corner, and for some reason the Renault of, I think it was Palmer, just stops. You'll see here the Renault stops, and then the Manor stops, and then the Renault will go, and yeah, I'm not sure what happened. Very strange AI. But that has been the turn 1 incident. We're going to go back to racing now, and we have Raikkonen ahead of us in the virtual safety car window. So if you don't know what virtual safety car is, it's basically a electronic safety car in a way. Basically, this means that they don't have to bring out the full safety car, and the cars can go back to racing much sooner. And as we see this, we are back to racing. Green flags around the outside of Raikkonen. We made a bit of contact. We're going around the outside again on Raikkonen. This time he leaves the room, and again we made slight contact that my driver got furious about. But that's P1 for us. We're ahead of the 2 Ferraris that are ahead of the 2 Mercedes, now on P3. Hamilton got ahead of Vettel, it seems, because now we have a 1, 2, 3 of Red Bull, Ferrari and Mercedes, and Ricciardo sets the fastest lap of a 1:59. So we're all fairly similar pace on lap 4. On lap 7 now, not much happened throughout the race. As you can see, Hamilton and Rosberg now overtook both Ferraris, so Ferraris are down into 4th and 5th. Mercedes, as soon as it comes to the wet weather, they start to pick it up in the race. But it seems in a one-shot qualifying, in qualifying they can't get the pace right. So I've been taking it very cautious, because we are heading towards the end of the Grand Prix. On lap 9 now, going a bit out wide, Rosberg looks to have a go around the outside. He's going to have to corner, but he backs out. So now that's Rosberg and Hamilton. Hamilton is on the rear of Rosberg. Any mistake from Rosberg, Hamilton will be all over it. And coming into the, I'm not sure what turn this is, but it's coming up to sector 2 on the long straight. Rosberg and Hamilton kept going at it. Lap 10 now, Hamilton got ahead of Rosberg on the main straight. So through here it's fun if you can get it right. If you can get it right through here, then it's enjoyable, but if not, it's a real pain. And we're sort of struggling as the tyres are starting to wear, because I haven't pitted. No one's pit this whole race. So Hamilton's starting to show that he is truly the driver that took care of his tyres, and he's just all over our rear. But we're going to go into lap, the end of lap 10, I think, very soon. Here we go, end of lap 10. Oh, sorry, on lap 11 now. Hamilton, very, very close to us. I have no idea how he has not overtaken us yet. But yeah, as you can see, the train for first is quite a few cars in the mirrors. It looks to be about 6-7 cars for first place. Now on lap 12, heading back onto the long straight. Hamilton in second, Rosberg in third, and I believe the 2 Ferraris in 4th and 5th at this stage, and 6th would be the McLaren Honda of Fernando Alonso. Not sure what happened to Jensen. He's just fell off at the start of the Grand Prix. So yeah, I just took these corners way too cautiously. It meant that the other drivers could catch up, and it put a lot of pressure on myself because I needed to make the most out of the straight, because the drivers don't go on the power that much in this type of condition. So I was trying to get on the power as soon as possible to make up on the straights. And as you'll see, lap 13 now, we go a bit deep into the corner. That gives Rosberg the chance to have a look, and Raikkonen up into third. So Hamilton's lost a position to the Ferrari, and we get the position back from Rosberg. So that was interesting to have a little loss of the lead after so many laps. But we're just going deep into all the corners now, and Nico Rosberg needs to make the most of it, otherwise he's just not going to win the race. On the end, or still on lap 13, sorry, coming around the final few corners, Rosberg is still there. He is just all over it. He could get the quarters perfectly, he can win the race. So we need to get this correct. And there we have a go. Well, there we see Rosberg having a go on us on the final lap now. Coming down to the long straight, not the main straight, but the long straight. We go a bit deep into the corner. Rosberg having a go. Make a slight contact with Rosberg. It was his fault, honestly. I just kept my normal line, and there we have it. A huge crash, putting Sebastian Vettel into the wall. We're going to see it through TV cam. As you can see, I'm doing my normal line. I'm kept it there, and Rosberg just collision, and then he just drives back into the Ferrari of Sebastian Vettel, and Vettel very close to hitting the McLaren Honda. McLaren Honda, as you see, is having a go on what looks to be Lewis Hamilton, and it's Jenson Button. So Jenson Button is up into third, and now Alonso is up into third in one lap. So both McLaren Hondas were third and fourth. But that's going to be this race. We're going to win the United States Grand Prix. Wet conditions seem to be our best now. And we needed this win for the championship. We needed to have a victory. This has helped us tremendously, and as you can see, first for Red Bull, second for Ferrari, and third for Fernando Alonso in the McLaren Honda. And that is interesting because that is McLaren Honda's second time on the podium in this career mode. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun for Ferrari to get that, especially with what the cars are like this year. They're just not having any luck. So thankfully Fernando was able to get on the podium. It was a fun, challenging race. As soon as we got the lead after the first lap, I just had to make sure I was looking after my tyres, looking after the fuel, and just kept the drivers behind me. But there you have it, Jenson Button and Fernando Alonso third and fourth, Rosberg down into fifth, and I do not see Lewis Hamilton anywhere there. He's not even in the top 10. So something happened to Lewis Hamilton. I think he may even be out of the race. Sebastian Vettel 18th, Lewis Hamilton I don't see him anywhere. But in terms of the drivers' standings, we'll get that very soon. In terms of drivers' standings, we are 20 points behind. That is 1 race win behind Lewis Hamilton. Constructors, we are 23 points behind. But if you guys enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.